Tina from The Gorgeous Geeks, and I'm here today with a special guest star, my baby sister Tina, who is a huge fan of Avatar, and I am also a huge fan of Avatar, not the blue one, The Last Airbender, not the crappy film, Avatar, The Last Airbender. The amazing cartoon that has been off for a couple years, if you can believe it.
It's so sad.
It is sad, but then there was hope when they said The Legend of Korra was coming out. I actually saw a clip or a picture that said, you know, how they do the black boxes and they have a picture and the white words underneath it. It said, Korra, my reason for living. If you do not know this, you can watch the first 2 episodes of The Legend of Korra right now on Korranation.com. They released it early because of the fan demand, and I believe they had to make a certain amount of likes or something, and so they succeeded, and they premiered it early, so we watched it today when it came out.
Yes, we did.
And I was very, very happy. I have to tell you that when I first was like, I just don't personally care for waterbenders or racist, I know. No, I guess it's because of Katara.
Her sappy
speeches of hope, her whiningness, or her leading Aang on even though she didn't mean to. Like, he's so sad, like, give me a hug. And you know, this boy, like, totally is in love with her. And she's hugging him. Her head comes up to her boobs. And it's just a big mess. Yes. You know, it's just a big mess. I don't personally like Katara, so, well, I mean, I don't hate her. She's just not, she's my least favorite out of, you know, the group of heroes. And, I mean, I like Sokka, so I'm not going to say I dislike people from
the Water Tribe.
From the Water Tribe, but, not too fond of Katara, and I just didn't know how interesting it was going to be watching a waterbender master all these elements and so on. So, I have to say that I really do like Korra because she's just like a real teenager, you know? She's headstrong, she's brash, she's tough, she's funny, she's cool, and a bit rebellious, and there's just a lot of things that were like real teenage stuff that was going on with the different characters. And it was like they said, these little kids who our show is intended for are in high school now.
So it's like, yes! You finally reached my age.
Yes! They did. So it's going to be more serious than the previous, you know, show, even though it got way serious at the end. And,
like, should we or should we not kill the Fire Lord?
Yeah, and then he confronted all his past lives and all, like,
yes, kill him.
Even the pacifist was like, you gotta do it, kid. He's like, darn it. I don't want to kill nobody. I'm only 12. Yeah, but I really do like Korra, and I was surprised that I really liked her. Even when she first busts onto the scene, she's 4 years old. The White Lotus has come looking for the Avatar. They've traveled to the Water Nation, back and forth trying to find him, and then her parents are like, Korra, come on, and she busts through a wall, and she's like, I'm the Avatar, you gotta deal with it,
and she just starts throwing rocks and just busting out fireballs, and
so she's really talented.
Yeah.
I mean, Aang was talented, but she was. Avatar is obviously a prodigy. She was a for real prodigy.
Yeah.
And she believes in strength. She's very, very powerful. But she's gonna have her issue with the show is she's going to have to learn that it's not always about, you know, power. You have to learn how to be structured. You know, Aang liked to play games and stuff like that, but he definitely understood the spiritual side of being, you know, the Avatar. She kind of sucks at it, to be blatantly honest. So she really needs to work on those things, and she kind of gets snippy at one point with her master about
who is Aang's son.
Yeah, Tenzin, and says, you know, maybe I don't need to learn this. Maybe I'm good enough already. But she was just having a teenage moment. Yeah. And not in a emo, angsty kind of way, but, you know, just a normal teenage kind of fit. So Tenzin, he's very serious, but he has these 3 kids that are just all over the place.
His son just looks like a lunatic.
Oh my gosh, why didn't you draw him like that?
His eyes and his head is deformed.
He has these beady eyes, but these big black circles, you know, they were really thick with the line, and his head is misshapen, and it's like, I don't know, some kind of hairline or something. I don't know what's wrong with this child, but something is wrong with this child. I'm like, his only boy is so weird, and the boy is the youngest. And he has, his oldest is more mature, but, you know, she's still a kid, too. So you got this super serious guy, and his wife is pregnant. And so she's just like, I just want a normal kid this time, because I'm sick of wind being blown in my face. But it is a good thing that they're, you know, popping out these airbenders, because otherwise they'd be extinct. And so he's even though he has 2 siblings, he's the only master of airbending. So I don't know why the reason that is, but I mean, hopefully we get to see the other 2. But he's the serious one, and so he has to deal with this teenager. Like, he just has these overactive children, and now he's being a teenager is being thrown right at him, and it's kind of hard to deal with her. And he's like, I have to teach you patience, and she's testing all of his patience. So it really is a journey together. It's funny because after Korra blows up on him, he tells his kids, he's like, you have to promise me you won't act like this when you're a teenager. And his oldest daughter is like sipping tea, and she's like, I cannot make such promises. And I just died laughing. I'm like, at least you're being truthful, sweetheart. It was like she wanted to say, Daddy, I would never do that, but she's like, I can't promise you that. There's just a lot of funny stuff that I really loved in these first 2 episodes.
I wish Sokka was there, though.
I do wish Sokka was there. The only person who seems to be alive
is Katara.
It is 70 years later, and
why only Katara?
Yeah, why only Katara? I do have to say, old Katara does not seem, I don't know, as
mopey.
She's this sappy, wise advisor, and she's not like this mopey, sappy, preachy young girl. She's this mature spring of knowledge. Or well of knowledge.
Is this a well of knowledge?
Yes, it is. I was trying to think of what I was trying to think of. I've heard so many complaints. It's like, we want to see Old Man Sokka.
Yes, give us Old Man Sokka.
I want to see Old Man Sokka say, you lousy kids, get off my snow. You know, Toph has a daughter who is the chief of the police, and she does not play. She's tough, and like Toph was tough, but Toph wasn't mean.
Yeah.
This woman is obviously mean. She's like, I don't care if you are the Avatar, and she lays down the law. Metal bending has become a regular type of bending
for the policemen.
Yeah, so it was really cool. There's a chase scene when they were chasing after Korra going through the city. And it was really amazing. She thought it was cool. She's like, oh, metal benders. Like, so I'm assuming she cannot metal bend, which is something that she should probably learn. She should probably learn blood bending, but that's just my opinion.
Let her get air down first.
She's a water bender. She'd be able to bend blood. Wouldn't that be creepy if there was like this whole like emo water tribe revolution of blood bending, and it was like they could be the villains of season 2 for the goth Avatar version. I'm sorry. Anyway, but speaking of the villains of this season, the villain's name is Amon, and he is leading this group of equalists who
want to get rid of all the benders because they feel that there's this inequality. Because all the benders are like, yeah, we're benders, and normal people are like, we're normal.
Yeah, well, the only thing you saw them inciting this rage and stuff in the streets, or it wasn't even like, when I say that, you might picture like people running around crazy. It wasn't even like that. It was like this dude on a soapbox who was convincing this little crowd. I was curious as to how these people would fight against benders, because it just seems like madness, you know? I mean, the other nations couldn't even fight against the firebenders, you know? They were getting spanked. And, so apparently, in the previews, it seems like they're gonna have all these weapons to use against them, but also, chi blockers. So that makes sense.
Oh, like Ty Lee.
Yeah, I guess like Ty Lee.
Maybe Ty Lee's descendants are behind the whole thing.
Ooh. Maybe not. I want to know what happened to everyone. You know, Aang and Katara obviously got together, had a family. Toph had a daughter, and
who was the baby's daddy? That's what I want to know.
What happened with Sokka and Suki? But
Zuko and.
But yeah, Zuko. They said.
May. What? Did they have email
children? Dante Bosco is supposed to be a voice.
I was thinking that entire time I was watching it. I'm like, where's...
so I'm like,
where's Rufio?
Where's his legacy? How, you know, in the Fire Nation, Republic City, this whole, the Fire Nation colonies have become, United Republic Nations or something like that. And, Republic City is the capital, and those are the Fire Nation colonies. So, Zuko, like, completely changed things around, and, it was Zuko's and Aang's vision for benders and non-benders to live in peace, and Tenzin really sees it as his responsibility to bring peace and order to Republic City, and, Avatar Korra has to, convince him that this is also her goal, that she has to do this. And they have to, eventually the older generation has to be like, well, this is the new generation, which is something that all of the fans really had to come to, because even watching the beginning, everything changed. It was
the music was different. I was like, what?
Even the music was different.
I was like, where's the normal music?
Everything was different. You're watching it, it's like, it's so sad, because these characters you love are gone, but you have to accept this new generation. So Katara was like talking to everybody when she's like, it's time for this new generation. It's like, you have to accept this new generation. But Tenzin says, you know, I'm trying to protect my father's legacy, but I realized you are my father's legacy, and so she. Weird, huh? But she's gonna stay in Republic City and try to restore balance. And another thing has done while she's been in Republic City is she's a big fan of pro bending. It's like
pro wrestling, but for benders.
Yeah, for benders.
Kind of like when Toph was in that underground arena.
Yeah, but it's more advanced. You have to have a waterbender, earthbender, firebender. Yeah. And it's really cool. I wish I could, you know, bend and play the sport, you know, or at least watch it on TV. Which I do watch it on TV technically.
What element what kind of bender would you want to be?
I guess I want to be a firebender, or maybe an earthbender.
Are you sure you don't want to be a waterbender just because of bloodbending?
You know, if I could bloodbend, I would say waterbender, but, you know, metal bending is kind of cool, too. So, you know, but firebenders obviously can kick some butt since, you know, they were the villains of the stories. So, I don't know. Anyone would be good, I guess. But anyway, she sneaks to this, arena, and she meets these two boys, and, it was really funny when she first met Bolin. He's like so cute and awkward, you know, and he had an awkward moment because it was like he accidentally like racially offended her or thought that he did, because he's like, oh, she said, oh, I can earthbend or whatever, something like that, and he's like, oh, I just assumed, you know, with the water tribe, she would be a water tribe, but like it was one of those I'm not racist really moments. And you know, it was funny. He's just funny in this adorable, cute kind of way, and you can totally tell that, you know, maybe he's crushing on Korra. But then you have serious, professional bender, and he's just focused on his craft and stuff, and kind of didn't care too much for Korra until he found out she was the Avatar. And it's like, okay, he's the typical jerk that you totally want the girl to get with.
That sounds weird, but it's always true.
It's always true. I mean, some people are like, no, let her have the nice guy. But not that he's a bad guy, but, you know, he's just that, you know, I'm the teenager I'm too cool for all of this.
I'm too cool for school, so I'm going to skip. Only once.
What?
I don't know.
But, but they have this, I don't know, this spark. I did not really ship that much at Avatar. The only thing that was kind of like, I felt bad for Aang, because of those moments Katara was totally leading him on without her knowing she was oblivious and he just wanted her. And, poor Aang. I thought we were going to be together forever, and we're not. Like, poor Aang. Sokka and his relationships were, cute to watch, but I wasn't like, drawing fan art, reading fan fiction,
wanted Toph and
like
Sokka to get together.
Big age gap. Sokka!
I forgot about the age gap. I really did. She was gone for
She's the coolest chick ever!
She was gone for a whole season.
Actually,
I forgot about her.
Toph was pretty boss. But anyway,
she was gone for
there
a season.
was that moment in season 2 with Zuko and Katara when she touched his face and
you're
you
like,
felt it. I thought he was gonna go good, and I thought that they were gonna have this triangle in the new season with Aang and Zuko and Katara, and then they totally blew my mind when he screwed everybody over. The end, when he was looking out his window and she was looking out her window, and it's like they're looking at each other, but they're so far away, like a somewhere out there moment. But the mice are brother and sister, so it's not like that, but it's like romantic this time. So when it was over, I went on Twitter and I'm like, I am shipping so hard right now, because I just felt that moment and I'm just totally for them. Probably because people wanted Zuko and Katara together so bad, so now you got your firebender and your waterbender. So I don't know if it's gonna
be steamy.
Oh, it's gonna get steamy! I don't know if Bolin is gonna enter like a triangle kind of thing. So
nice guys finish last.
Don't say that. I want to marry a nice guy.
I don't believe that.
What?
You want to marry a bloodbender? So you two can just take over the world together.
Anyway, I just wonder how it's gonna work out. They said friendships will be tested. She's on the official team of the pro bender sports. And so they're going to be competing in tournaments.
Aren't they the fire ferrets?
They're the fire ferrets.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see where all the relationships are going to take them. Of Korra fighting in Republic City to protect the people and to restore balance in the city. It's not a whole adventure across the world like Aang had. It's very centered. And at first, originally, there were supposed to be 12 episodes. But they apparently ordered another 12. It's really cool to finally see. It's really cool to see the book start off with air, because now it feels like it's complete. Because everyone was like, 2 of 4 seasons because we need air. And at a Comic-Con they had a showing, and it was like book 4 air, and it was like Forbidden Love, but apparently it was just all fan art, But that was really funny. I'm glad they did that, though it was disturbing. But I'm interested to see what's all going to happen. But I do have to say that there is one part that the writers just pulled our leg and pushed us in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And beat us to death and spit on our corpse.
And then made our corpse do blood bending, and we danced.
To the beat of a drum that was off. Was when Katara's granddaughter was like, Grand, I was reading your stories and I was dying to ask you what happened to Zuko's mom. And she's like, well, it's an interesting story. And we're like on the edge of our seats like, this was the last string that was not tied. And we need to know what happened. And then the second daughter just was like, hey, Grand, why are you old? And I'm like, that question is not important. And then it was just dismissed. And I'm just like, why would you do that? Are you going to... I don't see why someone else would explain it. And I'm just mad that they didn't. But for my last statement, I do want to say Aang has never looked more Asian than that statue they have at Republic City. So M. Night Shyamalan better feel ashamed of himself for whitewashing Avatar, because I'm like, that doesn't look like a white kid. Not at all. No. Not at all. But anyway, I'm Christina.
And I'm your special guest, Tina.
You can follow us on Twitter at 3gorgeousgeeks. And you can also visit www.thegorgeousgeeks.com, and we'll be following The Legend of Korra when it premieres April 14th. So tune in and tell us what you think at the comments below, and we'll see you next time.